There we go. We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Friday Night Pint. My name's Nick Hawkins, and I'm here with Ryan Archer and Dan Lawless. It's the relegation dogfight this weekend. It's massive games in the Premier League. Can we get ourselves out of it? A win would guarantee it because one of them are going to lose or they're both going to draw. So there we go. But we'll be talking about the new sponsor. We'll be talking about Jared Bowen getting in the England squad. Does he deserve it? Tuchel think he does. And there's another couple of things to do. But boys, Friday night, how are we doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, all good. All good, thank you. You all right?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I apologise about the thumbnail. I don't even think the thumbnail's spelt properly. But I just put a placer on there. Dan was meant to be here to do the thumbnail, but he wasn't here. It will change right now. It says, I'm sure it says relegation Dogfight. I don't even
relegation donut fight.
Yeah, donut fight. Yeah.
Okay, now. Yeah, I'm working on it. I was in IKEA buying a chest of drawers. I got 5 different fucking flat packs I got to put together, so that's my Saturday. Dreading.
How'd you get them all home? Because you don't drive.
Yeah, I've got someone to go with me. Yeah.
All right. I could just imagine you fucking walking along the street like fucking that geezer with a cat with what's his name, Dick Whittington, with all your flat packs
5
on your back.
boxes. Fucking hell, dreading it.
Boys, look, we're going to get straight into it right now. Relegation weekend is massive. The international break is coming up, and it's a chance for us to get ourselves out of it for a couple of weeks. First of all, how are you feeling?
A bit nervous, but to be honest with you, I'm a bit nervous because our game, it's a tough game. I think Villa won. I was desperately hoping they would go to extra time just to burn them out. They had the later kickoff, but extra time would have been good, but it was sort of a comfy 2-0 win. So our game really got a win. And then you got Spurs Forest, and Spurs, they won the other day. I'm hoping momentum don't sort of push them on and spur them on, and they go and win that game. It's huge. It's huge. I want to get it above both of them, really.
Yeah, look, it's a massive. Every weekend's massive now when you're in the final running of a Premier League season, especially when you're in a relegation battle. But look, Leeds play Brentford tomorrow night. Tough game. Obviously, Tottenham and Forest playing each other, and yeah, like Dan said, we've got a difficult game away to Villa, but I know Villa won the other night, but they've not been in great form in the Premier League. And I think at Villa Park, they've only beat us once there in the last 7 games against them. So, look, we've got to go into it with confidence. But, yeah, it's a massive weekend. Like, as you said, a win guarantees us to get us out of the bottom 3. A defeat at Villa, look, if we do lose, it's not the worst thing in the world because obviously Spurs and Forest play each other. But so one of them are going to drop points, or both of them are drop points if they draw. But we need to win. It's a big weekend. Somerville, I think, is out. Nuno's said that. But look, Nuno's sprung surprises on us before, so it wouldn't surprise me if maybe he might be in it. But yeah, it's just a huge weekend, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of them weekends where I've started a comment on it. I still think there's enough games left. As I said before, like it is a tough game. And I think we needed to keep in touching distance with that by April. And what it will do to us now is by April, we will be in touching distance. So no matter what happens this weekend, whether we win, lose or draw, one of them two are going to drop points. So that means we're in touching distance. That means we're 1 game away, no matter what happens this weekend. But I would say this, listen, there was a bit of a meltdown against when we played Man City last week. People getting nervy, getting panicky and all that. And I said this before, there's going to be twists and turns all along this season. The position we're in is a tough position, And if we lose tonight, or tomorrow, Sunday, and Villa and Nottingham Forest either draw or one of them wins and all that, there will still be people moaning. Just trust the process. Trust the process because it's going to be a long season. There's still enough games left. There is 8 games after this one. 8 games after this one? 7 games after this one?
7
games after this one. That's a lot of points. That's still 21 points to play for after this. We need about 12. So, listen, I think it's vitally important that we go out there and at least put on a performance. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. But every week's going to be fucking tough for someone. You know what I mean? Like, we get the draw against Man City last week. There is obviously the whole the other bottom three drew. So Leeds drew, Tottenham drew. So it was like a point for nothing. But you've got to remember, you come out of them games unscathed. And this is one of them ones. Like, and I know I don't want to sit there and say like it's okay to lose. I don't think it is okay to lose. We put ourselves in a position where winning every game is probably vital right now. Because even though we all sit there and say 40 points. We've gone down on 42 points before. So you have to get as many points as you fucking can, right? But what I would say is this: we're in touching distance. Yeah, we're in touching distance. It still will be out of our hands because of our goal difference unless we score a lot of goals. So it's a massive weekend, and we need to go there and really fight. It's not going to be easy without Somerville. It's not going to be easy. But
the thing is, if we win the weekend, then it is in our hands.
Yes, yeah.
So it's in our hands then. But yeah, no, you're right. Look, it's losing Somerville at this stage of the season is, it's a disaster. But look, we can't set up against Villa like we did against City. City's totally different, totally different to Aston Villa. I think set up as we have been before. There's other players that can come in and play in that position that Somerville does. So you've got to have a go at Villa. You can't go there and play 5 at the back and invite them on, because that's just asking for trouble. Just go there and play the way we've been playing. Look, we proved it. We've seen us put in performances away from home. You look back at the Chelsea game. I know we lost, but for 65 minutes we battered them. We should have won that game. We threw it away ourselves. But we can go there. We went Fulham and got a good win against a decent Fulham team. So, yeah, there's no reason why we can't go to Villa Park and get all 3 points. And it's just the way Nuno sets up. I don't think personally he's going to set up the 5 at the back. But it's who comes in, who's going to take that opportunity. Someone's just said there about Diouf playing left wing. I could see that. Traore, there's players that can come in and make a difference. I know Somerville is a huge loss, but look, we just have to, you can't worry about players that ain't there. Just worry about the players that are there and are going to get us the win.
This is why I'm not quite on board with the it's okay to draw, and there are enough games. There are, if we draw or we lose, say example, it's not over. Of course, it's not over. It's not the biggest disaster. I think it's so important to win. I think it's massively, massively important, because if we don't win, this is another opportunity then that we've then kicked down. We've seen it so many times where the teams above us has dropped points, but we've dropped points also, or we pick up points and they pick up the same points. Like this, there's only so long we can keep going on in this bottom three. Psychologically, it's going to drain.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with that. Because, you keep on saying, you're kicking the can down the road. About 10 games ago, we was out of it. We're not kicking the can down the road. We're just biding our time. And as I said before, relegation.
Can I just say, Nicky said I start the arguments last week on Friday night. Who started this? Who's disagreed with me?
It's not an argument. It's just I disagree, because you say we everyone's panicking. Like in the relegation,
panicking.
You are, because you've demanded a win straight away. You can't keep kicking down the road.
I'm saying how important it is. It's not panicking. I'm just stressing the importance of a win.
It's sort of a panic, isn't it? But I'm just saying, listen, I don't agree with it. At the end of the day, if we could win every game, we wouldn't be in this position. I think a relegation battle right now is a game of nerves, right? And I'm still confident, yeah. And I've said this. You wanted me to apologise 10 games ago. We'll see about apologising 10 games at the end of the season.
Well, do you know why? Because you bent over and apologised to Scott every 5 fucking minutes last year towards the end of the season. That's why I was just making a point, because every week you on Friday night on post-match point, you're going, I've got to apologise to Scott.
Well, no, I haven't got to apologise to you to the end of the season. What I'm saying is, Dan.
But I never said we were going down, though. That's the thing. What you've said.
You definitely did.
How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet?
And I don't want to get into an argument. I'm just saying my piece.
No, we won't argue.
I don't want to bet any money. I'm not a betting man, right? But what I will do, is we'll go back, because I'm sure at one point you said we're going to get relegated. But I'm not saying we'll. No, I've said there's videos I've done where I've gone that's it in emotion. In that argument, in that thing we said, I said I'm not saying we're definitely going down,
but it's not as cut and dry as you're saying. It's not as comfortable as you're saying. And since we've had that argument, since we had that debate, whatever, we've been in the bottom three throughout the whole time. So you said
It's
we're
not about how
comfortably
you start,
staying up.
man. It's about how you finish.
Yes, but it's not. But you're saying it's okay. We can keep being in the bottom three. You said it was comfortable. It was going to be comfortable that we'd stay up. I said it's not as cut and dry as that. I said I'm not saying we're definitely going down, and I can go back to that post-match pint and I can get the clip.
You've said we're definitely going down at some point.
Yeah, we've all said it. We've all said it. You've said it. I've said it. We've come out of games.
You said that you didn't say it.
No, I didn't say it in that debate. In that debate that we had, I didn't say it, but you've also said we're going down in the heat of the moment after games, after say Forest or Wolves. We've all said it in
It's fine. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not sitting there picking the bones out of things. I'm just saying, like, everyone's panicking. You know what I mean? Like, I see YouTube channels last week. We get a draw against Manchester City, yeah, and everyone else gets a draw, and all of a sudden they're all dejected and they can't be bothered to do shows tonight because they're fucking dejected. Like, fucking come on. Don't panic. We'll panic at the end of the season. That's what I'm saying.
I think what Dan was saying is that, like, we've been quite lucky that when we drop points, teams above us drop points, but then when we win, they win as well. So, and eventually that luck will run out, where we need to take. We've been given so many opportunities over the last few weeks to get out of that bottom three, but we seem to sort of, I wouldn't say bottle it, but results just don't go our way. But
Dan, I can't say we bottle it. I can't say
when there's 7 games to go, like if there was 17 games to go and we was in this position, you'd think, yeah, there's enough time. But we keep saying there's enough time, but then next week is 6 games, then it's 5, then it's 4, and then you're thinking, shit, if we're still in the bottom 3. So this is why this weekend is massive. It is important, but I do sort of agree that if we don't get the right result, it's not the end of the world, because we're still in the end of the world.
Yeah, I think it's just important. But this is why, you know, when you said I disagree with you, this is why I jumped out, because I see comments like this all the time that says, if Nicky says the sky was blue, Dan would disagree. I'm argumentative. I gave my opinion. Nicky disagreed with it. He's allowed. But I get gaslight lit as I'm the one disagreeing all the time. I'm the one I gave him, and I want Nicky to disagree. I want him to come in. If he don't believe in what I'm saying, I want it. But everyone thinks I'm the one that's coming up and going, well, no, I don't agree with you. You're wrong. But that's just people. But
technically, though, Dan, if he sends you a message on WhatsApp saying the sky's blue and you don't read it to the night time, you could technically say, well, it ain't blue, it's night.
Yeah, so, but that's it. And then someone will say, yeah, honestly, we've got some fucking idiots who watch this channel, some fucking idiots, like this guy. But yeah, like all I'm saying is it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's important. It's important. So people can, like I said, people can think that's negative by me saying it's important we win. That's negative. I think that's.
No, I think as well, like there's going to be Spurs fans going into this weekend, Forest fans, Leeds fans. They're all going to be in the same situation as us. You know, it's a big weekend for everyone. I mean, look, Spurs going out of Europe the other night could do them a favour. You know, now we've got more games than them because we've got the FA Cup, just like Leeds. So yeah, it's and obviously Forest going through in Europe was good for us. The longer they stay in, the better. So I know the other week I said that I think Tottenham are going to go down, but realistically, when I look at it, I could actually see Leeds maybe sliding into the bottom 3. I just think that they're a run of form, and yeah, I think they're going to be concentrating on the FA Cup just like us. But I just think with what I've seen, Tottenham,
let's hope they won't concentrate after the next round, mate. Let's hope they've got nothing to concentrate.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, like, yeah, I watched Tottenham last week at Anfield. Yeah, they were lucky to get a point, but they got a good point. The other night, they got a win over Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid were already through. But look, they put up a fighting spirit. So if they beat Forest on Sunday, I think they stay up. You know, but look, if Forest go there and win, because Tottenham ain't that great at home, if the pressure gets them, and I'm right in saying that their goalkeeper's now out. Vicario's out for probably going to be the rest of the season. So now they've got to put that other geezer in goal. Who fucking... So, yeah.
I mean,
It's
he's
gonna
gonna
be-
be. I mean, that's the thing. He's going to be like a fucking bag of nerves. That poor bastard got pulled off after 15 minutes. He's going to be fucking shot. That geezer.
Well,
Yeah.
this plays into Forest team talk because if I was their manager, I'd just be saying, put as much pressure on you can in the first 15 minutes.
Hit him. Yeah, that's it.
Literally, if Forest get kick-off, I'd shoot from the halfway line. I'd shoot straight away just to fucking, like, put the...
You know, there's a story here, you know, and the football gods put these stories in. This is where, should we leave our predictions to them? But I'm going to do the first Forest one, right? Gibbs White gets the winner. Remember the beginning of the season, what happened to Gibbs White?
Oh, yeah. There's a story there. I love to
Gibbs
see
White
it.
gets the winner and he puts him in the bottom three.
Ideally, a draw would be the best result. But if I had to pick a winner, I would want Forest to win. Like, I'll be rooting either Forest win or draw.
I actually predicted in my work thing that we do. I've done 3-2 Forest. I think it's going to be an open game, lots of goals. But yeah, I mean, draw. Yeah, as Dan said, draw ideally would be good for us. But yeah, Forest win, we win. Yeah, and we'll go level with Leeds, won't we? If we win and they lose.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, which is you know, a couple of games ago even that was unthinkable. You know, and this is what I'm saying. Like, we're making good progress. We need to carry on this progress. Listen, we throw the kitchen sink at Aston Villa tomorrow. I think we throw the kitchen sink at them. Somebody just said it there, and I was like, I'm going to take that out of them. We throw the kitchen sink at them tomorrow. Pablo, Tatty, just hassling people. We nearly beat them when we were shit and they were good. They're in poor form at the minute. Like, as Ryan said, like, they're a team that we've had relative success there in a you know, over the past sort of 10 seasons. So yeah, listen, go for it. You know, roll the dice. At the end of the day, this is what these relegation battles are about. You've got to start rolling dices. That's it. Like, but if you lose, you lose. People are panicking and all that, but don't panic. You know, these things will happen. This weekend just happens to be I'm not going to say a free hit because I don't think there is any free hits now. But someone's losing.
I just think this could be a good game for Tatty because I think that the space you get at Villa Park, I think with his pace and if we put him into the channels and I think he could fucking ruin them at the back, like, you know, and you could see another goal coming from him away from home. You know, he likes to score away from home, doesn't he? So yeah, it's a big weekend for a lot of players. I think Bowen, obviously, he's going to be high on confidence. You know, with being called up to the England squad today. So yeah, no, there's a lot of people that need to step up for us on Sunday, and I think they will. I think Pablo as well.
The thing is, I think we can sit and say, you know, don't panic now, but it's a stressful as a fan.
It's stressful. Yeah, it's stressful.
Being in it's a stressful. You know, we all watched the when we was watching I think it was the Fulham game where we watched, and that was just stress. Like, and relegation battles are stressful, and you live and die by every game is a cup final. Like, that's where we're at. So, you know, when you lose, it's almost feeling like you've lost a cup final. I know you get to go again, but it's just 3 points every week are that important because, you know, you could lose, they could win, or you could win, they could lose, and then it's just huge. So it's so we can sit and say, like, relax.
That is the position you're in, and like, as West Ham, we've been in this position a lot of times. Like, I thought some of these people that are panicking would have been fucking used to it by now.
No, it's football. It's West Ham. Like, you can never just detract your emotions away from your team, no matter how many times. It's always going to feel shit to lose. It's always going to feel shit to get relegated. It's always going to be horrible to be in it. It's just, that's the game. It's an emotional.
I think that's what gives us the sort of advantage over like Spurs, because we have been in this position before and we know what it's like down there. This is why Tottenham fans are. I know they've had a good week, but before that, they're all having meltdowns because they've never been in this position. Well, they haven't been in this position for a very, very long time.
Since last season.
They're getting so carried away with that win, yeah? And I'll just say this. Atletico had already won the tie. They knew they'd won the tie. Like, they was not going into that game with any sense of urgency and need to win.
I'm going to stick up for Spurs. I'm not going to stick up for them, but I'm going to say something. Wins breed confidence. They hadn't won for a fucking long time. A long time.
Yeah, true. It done well for us. But
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, it does breed confidence. But look,
Forest is going to be a different animal.
Yeah, Forest are going to be, Forest are fighting just as much as they are and we are. So it's got a potential to be a good game. It's a good weekend of football for the neutrals, not for everyone involved. But all we can do is worry about our result. If we win, we're at the bottom three. If Forest win, that means Tottenham going in the bottom three, and then we'll just see what happens.
Somebody called me out last week. So with a fucking stupid comment I made. Someone said, remember Nicky said he feels sorry for Spurs. And I did say that last week. I think I said
I read that. I didn't see it, but I thought, nah, surely.
I don't know what I was talking. I was talking about something, but I can't remember what I was talking about now. And I said I felt sorry for him, and then I changed my mind. But some geezer went, no West Ham fan would even think that, let alone say it. I guess I'm not a West Ham
But wait,
fan
Nick,
anymore.
is this a bot? This geezer's wrote the same comment like 4 times now. This is one of Nicky's bot. Exactly the same,
That's
word
me.
for word.
That's me.
With the emoji, yeah. Nicky Grimble.
They keep on.
It's the same comment.
They keep on blanking out the one where I call you a cunt.
Yeah, we got the filters on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's annoying that both games are on at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice if we had our game and then we could sit back and relax and watch theirs, and we're gonna be.
No, do you know what? I quite like it that it's the same time, because if we played later and Spurs played before us, and or that game was before us, and we see the result and one of them won, it puts the pressure. But kicking off at the same time, it feels like last game of the season when you just all fucking everyone kicks off the same time. I think that's a good thing for us. And and look, I know our fans will have one eye on the other game, but we just concentrate on our game and then see what happens in the other.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'll try and set up with the watch along and have both games on at the same time somehow. Everyone's just gonna spam that comment now. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. People are gonna be Nick. You're gonna be in the ground. You're probably gonna be getting whispers and words in and texts and people coming in.
I'll have it on telly.
Forest have scored, all of that.
Yeah, it's not like the old days. We have to listen to a little radio, mate. I'll have it on the wireless.
Oh yeah, have it on the old wireless on your phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of. It's not like it's a shit position to be in, but it's kind of exciting. Like, it's an exciting weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be honest. I don't like them. I've tried.
It's nervy, but
I don't like them. I remember sitting there one time in the relegation battle when I got so stressed out. Right, this is why I probably don't get stressed out anymore. I remember looking at Southampton, who were just cruising the season. They were sitting 10th, no chance of Europe, no chance of fucking going down. I was thinking, I wish I was them. You know what I mean? Like, it does stress me out. So, I'm just trying to take a more pragmatic approach to it right now. You know what I mean? So what I will do normally is I would fucking, what I'm like, I'm emotional. And a lot of people are saying I've changed my sort of attitude this year about what I'm like, So, yeah, I've just tried to be a little bit more calm, a little bit more calculated, and just let it ride out.
What a load of bollocks.
Yeah. I'll wear the... Yeah, he says it now, doesn't he, Brian?
Yeah. Let's go back and watch every show this season. Tell me he ain't stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah, fag cabs, instant match react, morning afters, PMPs. He looked like that. That's how he looked.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you because obviously every time I go live, my son, who doesn't talk to me for a week, comes in and starts talking to me during the hour that I'm on a live every weekend. That's what he does every weekend. Brilliant.
He's basically saying, yeah, you're talking bollocks, was what I was saying.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's because you are, like we say, I think you're calm now, but when we've had like the after matches and when we've lost big games, like you've been.
Oh, yeah. Mate, you know me, I can't control my emotions. I can't control them. You know what I mean? Like, I get very pent up and angry and things like that. Like, but I'm just trying a different approach right now. I'm just trying the Zen approach. I'm just trying to be
on a Friday night before a ball's kicked. It's quite easy, Nick. Let's see. Full time.
You're trying to be more like me because you know that my hair don't fall out.
Yeah, I'm hoping it to grow back.
Trying to grow your hair back.
Yes, I think it's too late, Nick.
No, mine's gone, mate. I lost mine during Euro 2000.
Euro 96.
Yeah.
Bloody
Oh,
hell. But yeah,
fucking
yeah. So we'll see tomorrow, Nick. How that goes.
No, I think listen. You have to react to what you react to. People people will live and die by opinions, whether they're right or wrong. Like, I'm always one of them ones. I don't mind being wrong, and I don't mind. I'd rather be wrong. Like I see you do a video about Disassi, and that's the way people should approach things. About you're wrong. We all said it about Craig Dawson. We was wrong. You know what I mean? Like Disassi, we was right. Like you was wrong. I said give him a chance, but. But you have to get to them points where you say, I was wrong. What you shouldn't do is you shouldn't be the same all the time. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's not good for your health, and you have to change your opinion. Like if you say someone's a mug, and he turns out to be the best thing in fucking real life in the world, and then you still say he's a fucking mug, then you're a fucking mug.
Yeah.
That's what
like that, but that's it. But that's why I don't sit on the fence with my opinions, because I'm not worried about being proved wrong. That's it. I can say how I feel, and if it goes wrong,
brilliant. I like your approach, Nick.
Get that on a t-shirt.
Reactive, angry channel. Listen, I'm reactive and I'm fucking angry. That's fucking for sure. But I'm trying something different. I'm trying to be cool. At the end of the day, it's not good for you. As I said before, I've lost enough of my follicles. I don't want to lose anymore. I've got half an head left.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think the thing with me and you probably as well, we wear our emotions on our sleeve. We wear our feelings. And, if we're pissed off at a thing, we see it. If we're happy, you see it. And you just live in the moment in football, and that's it. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, only if it goes too far and you say something ridiculous that you can't walk back, and you say something madly personal about a player or something that, but I think that's football. Like I said, it's all about emotions and passion and that's the game,
That's it. Let's take some comments.
Let's take some. We've got some starred here. I still think there's enough games left after this one. I see nothing but a loss, but our home games will keep us up. I can't decide if that's a positive or a negative comment.
I've heard. Do you know what I've heard today? Right, I've heard today that the Arsenal fans. I don't know whether I'm going to say it, fuck it. The Arsenal fans are buying up West Ham memberships this week to get games for their Arsenal game because they believe that will be their championship winning week. Make of that.
They're not like this is what I'm imagine. Yeah, you've got all these pricks in our end celebrating, and you see these little bitches. These little these clowns at the London Stadium, right? You want to fucking kick Nicky out? Let's see what they do then. Let's see what these little bitches that want to throw proper West Ham fans out that have been going home and away for years, kicking them out, while they let bloody OnlyFans birds and all these Man United fans, they've got all these Arsenal fans celebrating our end. Let's see what they do then.
I don't think Arsenal fans need to get a membership. They can just get tickets anyway. That's what they've been doing for fucking since we've been there for the last 10 years.
Some of them are season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Right, that's the mad thing. Shout out to Randy, says, hope we can win against Villa. Will be good to be at the bottom three by international break will be nice. Not the end of the world.
Yes. I'm sorry. Just going back on that last thing, right? Just remember, we could be in a relegation battle where it could sort of cement us to go down and they could win the league. I know that's obviously football reasons, but I'm just saying, if they are in the home stands, that's a recipe for disaster, I'm afraid.
Oh, mate. Yeah, 100%. So Matt said, what do you mean Nicky kicked out? Didn't you see the whole video Nicky did and that? Like Matt, you must have seen it.
Oh, they're still trying it, mate.
Credit to wankers. Credit to Wolves that they are still picking up points and making it difficult for all teams playing them. I hope they don't make it too difficult for us. Please don't. Shout out to Corral. Panic at the end of the season may be too late. What would be the point? There needs to be something done while the season's going on. Forest and or Spurs/Leeds won't wait to see how we do.
I'll tell you what, Coral. Why don't you get your boots, mate?
What?
Why don't you get your boots? Why don't you get your boots and go and do something? Because there's fuck all that we can do. Nothing. We can support
Leave
our
Cole
team.
alone.
Panic at the end of the season, maybe too late. There needs to be something done now. We're doing something. We're doing what we can. At the end of the day, fucking go and get your boots, or just watch how it rolls out. We can't. What's the point in panicking? There's no point in panicking at all. It doesn't change anything.
But you can't. A lot of time, panic isn't something you can control in the moment. Like if you're like, oh shit, we've just lost and we're still in the bottom three. Like that's how you feel. Like if you feel down about it, you're gonna feel down about it.
You got to do breathing exercises.
Breathe, crowd.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
I didn't start this, by the way, but shout out to Steve. Dan is innocent. Steve, one of the real ones.
No,
that's why he's a mod. That's why he's got the spanner next to his name. Yeah, Grimble, and you don't. I don't know what you've that one. I don't know what that was. I
must have been pressing it by myself. I got a new mouse. See?
Yeah. You need the old one back. Paul Houston, come on, lads. Let's be honest. We've all been thinking it wasn't looking good for us 10 weeks ago, but Paco has kicked us. Certain players went who didn't want. Yeah, listen, we've definitely improved, and there's a lot to be happy about. But at the end of the day, we need the points. We need the points. Like, so yeah, we're running out of games. Like I said, won't be the end of the world if we don't beat Villa, but Wolves then would be fucking hell. If Villa's not a must win, I don't know what Wolves will be.
Fucking hell.
We've got Wolves, run of games, Somerville's huge. With what's his name back, Pablo Fernandez. Congrats, Fernandes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
How you're supposed to say it, Fernandes.
This comment's got to make me laugh. Look, I'd put them all in a bonus to win this game. You're having a fucking laughing. Yeah, Sullivan didn't even want to pay with the coach to Everton.
Mate, they don't need money to motivate them to win this game. Fucking Premier League survival is their motivation. Ain't about bonuses and that. Fucking when a player has to rely on money for football, that's when then they shouldn't be in the game. You play for the love of the game. It's what you grew up fucking wanting to do. Playing for games like this, you're not always going to challenge for titles and that. Sometimes you are going to be in relegation battles. So it's about who's got the bollocks and who wants it more. So
that's it.
I've
got to say this, and this may come to bite me back in the arse, right? There was a question the other day on Twitter, and it says, "What player for Tottenham is coming back that's going to save them from relegation?" And some content creators, a big content creator as well, right? Says 1,000,000% Kudus. You should have seen the comments down below his fucking post, and all the West Ham fans were saying, "I don't think you know what you're talking about, mate." You know what I mean? Like, let's have a look at relegation Kudus. But as I said before, that might come and bite me back in the arse.
Yeah, we'll see. Both these comments,
it was fucking funny to read,
But both these comments are kind of similar. Suggest VAR and FA won't let Tottenham go down. Do FA pull a screw job and stop Spurs going down? This maybe, but the thing is, they're not. I don't put them in the same bracket as the rest of the so-called Big Six. Maybe the FA think we need all the Big Six in. There was some dodginess going on in their game against Liverpool. Like some of them calls, some of them off them corners that should have been corners that were goal kicks. I don't put it past these bastards. I don't know. I'm not a massive conspiracy theorist, but you never know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you talk about fucking corruption and all that. Look at the Morocco thing that's just happened. You know what I mean? Like, we'll talk about that in a second. But like, these things. I think VAR and that's making it more fucking obvious.
Yeah, true. Grimble says, off topic, do you remember when Nicky and Ryan were arguing on Schweinsteiger goal in the FA Cup? God, that's a throwback.
10 years ago, isn't it?
That is.
10 years ago.
That is. Yeah. That one was, we imagine what we could have done that season. Oh, an FA Cup that season.
Still think it was a foul. Anyway. So.
We won the league that season as well.
Yeah.
I stand by that. If Payet did get injured for them 8 games, we'd have won the Premier League that season.
I agree. I think we would have won it as well.
That was fucking. Where was that? What's his that prick?
Everton,
from Everton, the Irish. Yeah,
McLean, yeah.
McLean prick. Live
They
chat is
changed him
going
out.
over the handsome young fella with the hair, and I'm stuck looking at the two baldy twins. That's probably your setup, mate. Try turn your phone the other way, and it might go.
I'll take the young, definitely.
Look, do you know what this is? This is crazy. This is crazy comment. Personally, I have no beef with Lampard, Rio, Defoe, or Ince, but Kudus is different kettle.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah,
explain.
Look, the thing is for me is like I have no beef with sort of Rio. Lampard, I was young. I was only young when Lampard was like, I didn't really understand the hate towards Lampard at the time. Obviously, when he left the club, kissing the badge and all that, you know, I understand it. Defoe, yeah, that's probably my sort of modern day Judas, really, because of what he done. But Kudus, he's just the same. He's the same level as Defoe for me. Even worse, because at least Defoe didn't sit there saying, I've got Tottenham in my heart.
Well,
but then again, social media wasn't about then, so we don't know what he said.
I spoke to Defoe, and I met Defoe recently, and Defoe may be coming to something we're going to next week. And he explained that he was young, he was ill-advised, and I pressed him on a couple of things, like, go and check out the video. It's done really well, the video. I've done it for a company called Midnight Sports. And, you know, he said, like, blah, blah, blah. And then we was talking about the sending off. While you was there with me that season, we was going regular. Did he get sent off or not on purpose?
Yeah, well, I think he got sent off 3 times, didn't he?
3 times that season.
Yeah. So, and yeah, the game you're alluding to is obviously the West Brom game when we lost 4-3. Yeah, look, only he knows whether he done it on purpose. He's obviously trying to force a move. He wanted to leave the club. Look, yeah, when you get relegated, you lose your best players, and unfortunately, Defoe was one of our better players at the time. So, look, I don't know. I've got really no fucking problem. What's the point of hating people? You know what I mean? The footballers. If we all work, if we got an opportunity to go and sign for a bigger company for more money, you would. It's just the unfortunate thing for him is that he went to Spurs, which is a London rival. Yeah. So it's a bit like Declan Rice, the way he gets treated. You know, if he'd have gone to Man City, I don't think he'll get half the hate that he does. But
well, I'll never treat him bad, my baby.
Look, I've got no bad feelings towards Declan Rice either. At the end of the day, he was always going to leave. Arsenal were the only ones that wanted to put the money up front. Done deal. Best deal for the club.
Yeah. No, I agree. Kudus was bad. That I got Tottenham in my heart and all that sort of thing. That is a reason why I want him to go down so fucking badly.
Yeah, it's like he rubbed it in, wouldn't it? It's like he rubbed it in.
Yeah, look, Pete was saying about points. I didn't even know about the point. Well, I know about the point situation, but I was a kid.
No, young,
like, a kid. You know what I mean? Like I was fucking. But do you know what? Funny enough, a couple of years ago, I went out up London to see a show, and I actually sat next to Paul Ince in the theatre. And it was funny because when I sat down, it was a couple of weeks after he got sacked from MK Dons, and I sat next to him and I just went, "All right, Paul." I said, "No work today, mate." And he just went, "Oh, fuck off!" Like, and then I sat there and I was speaking to him, and he had a lot of love for West Ham. He had a lot of good things to say, and he said he's got good memories there. He said, yeah, he regrets certain things, but he loves the football club. Well, you can't argue that, can you?
I thought his interview with, I think it was his agent who gave, and he spoke about it. I thought it really put him in a better light. You know, he was talking about just how he saw John Lyle as a father figure, Paul Ince, and when they sacked John Lyle and how they sacked him.
There's a lot to his transfer. At the end of the day, it was at a time where information was very scarce, and you got fed what was in the papers, and there was no way to retract it. There's no way to give your own side. The papers print what they wanted to print. It ain't like social media these days. And there was a lot of sides to that story. You know what I mean? He was getting run out of the area. He had to leave the area because of his cars were getting damaged, and people found out where he lived. And it was one of them things where And I'm not making excuses for him, by the way, because it's still, still going to fucking leave a lump in your throat. But it was one of them things where they told him to do something and he done it, and they printed it behind his back, and it was all because he was going on holiday. I've heard the stories. I've talked to agents and all that. Like but it was one of them ones where, like, it wasn't like you could come out and turn around to the press and say, actually, you fucked me over, because they wouldn't have printed it. They print what they want to print, and they drive the narrative. That's why we don't like fucking press no more, like, because they try to drive the narrative whatever way they want. And it was one of them ones, yeah. So agent fucks him over, press fucks him over, couldn't tell his own side of the story.
Yeah, it's not even so much the press, mate. It's like someone just mentioned it there. Football agents are the devils, mate. They don't care about. They don't care about their players. They don't care about where they go. They just want to see how much money they can earn out of these players in a short period of time. And as you said, there's been players that have been ill-advised for years, and it's not because
Jesse
the agent
Lingard.
Jesse Lingard. Even when you go back to Jermaine Defoe, and there's been plenty of players down the years that have been ill-advised, and that's why when you look at someone like Paul Scholes, never had an agent, didn't need an agent, knew where he wanted to be, knew where he wanted to play. He could have signed for Juventus at the time, who were one of the biggest teams in the world, and a blank check, and he turned it down because he only wanted to play for Man United. He didn't need an agent. There's a lot of players like that, but some of these players now, there's no loyalty in football no more. There are in some sort of players, but there ain't. And all these players care about now is how much they can earn, and it's not like they're earning money that like you go back in the 90s and 80s and that, and even earlier, they never used to earn enough that they could retire and live on. That's why a lot of 90 players now are struggling. Yeah. And we used to think they earned big money back then, $5,000 a week, fucking hell. But now you look at some players, like you got Haaland on $550,000 a week. You got Declan Rice and all that on 300 odd grand a week. It's ridiculous. They earn more in a week than what some of these players that played for 10, 15 years earned in their career.
You're talking about average players now earning 70, 80 grand a week.
You got youth team players, kids.
Yeah.
When I used to first started going West Ham and the class of like Lampard, Rio, Joe Cole, Carrick, all them come through, they was earning about £100 a week. They didn't play for money. They played for the love of the game, and they played because they wanted to go. And that's why they went to the very top.
I'll tell you how much they used to get. 225 quid a week. That's what they used to get. So I remember one of them buying a little Ford Fiesta because that's what he could afford.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, mate. The players back then, they played for the love of the game and because they wanted to play at the very top. Now, players, you get youth players like who ain't even in the first team, ain't even in the first team squad, getting 35 grand a week.
I think
what's the incentive for them to go and want to go and play in the top, apart from earning more money?
Weren't they enough? A lot of money. What's his name? Loftus Cheek. I think he was on about 70 grand a week when he was about 19 or 18 or something.
Yeah, Chelsea, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, mate. These players these days, they're given too much and they can. Some of these youth players can sign a 5-year contract at let's say Manchester City, because we know that they pay young players a lot of money. So they give them like 35 grand a week for 5 years. They might never ever get in the first team. They go on loan somewhere, and then by the time that 5 years is up, they've got enough money to retire.
Yeah.
When they're fucking 22, 23. That's why they all go off the rails. They've got no one guiding them. And this is the problem in football today. There's no one guiding these players. And you've got agents in the area. Yeah, it's just...
I think the most famous recent thing I've heard is Ravel Morrison. So Ravel Morrison went in 10, 11 years ago. And he wanted Ferguson to sign him up to a contract for 30 grand a week. And Ferguson thought he was atrocious. So he's sort of phoned up Allardyce and he turned around and went, you need to take this kid on because the boy is the best footballer I've ever seen in your life. And we've spoke to pros, right? We spoke to pros that have played with Messi or played against Messi and said and still say he's the best that they've ever played with. Like, it's crazy. Like, I think Alex Song said it. And think about the players Alex Song's played with. You know what I mean? Like, and they said because the money is driving him it's driving him, and he needs to learn how to play football. We can't put him in the first team squad here, but he needs to learn how to play football. He's the most talented footballer I've ever seen in my life. Like, and look at what Ferguson's got. He goes, but I need him to direct, and they couldn't direct him that way. And look what happened to him. He's playing. I think he's playing in like the Mexican second division at one point, and you know what I mean. Like, and they Rooney said it. Yeah, there we go. Like, most talented footballer I've ever seen. He made a career, but he never made a top career. There was people said about Ballon d'Ors he should have been winning. And that was all because of money. And
some people like Morrison. It's just who they have wrapped around them.
Bad though, isn't it? When you think about it,
he used to go missing because he'd go back up to Manchester and hang about with the wrong people. But that's down to him at the end of the day. You've got to be strong. We know. Look, Jermaine Defoe grew up in an area, where we're from, and we know some of the people that he hung around with, people that end up going on to prison and things like that. What did he do? He took himself away from them and he made it to go and play for England in the World Cup. So he won that. So
it is about mentality, yeah, obviously. Disturbed kid he was, Morrison. Disturbed. Some of the things that I used to hear about him, he wasn't very well, I don't think. But
hopefully he's doing better now.
Yeah, I hope he is as well, because obviously, like, mental health is a fucking bad issue, man. So I hope anyone that's in that sort of mindset, but when you think about, he's in his 30s now. I think he might be coming up to retirement age. Could have had the best career of anybody as far as his talent is concerned. But it's not about the talent. It's just
on a side note, what do you guys make of Antonio's comments? He come out recently. He said that being in the club for 10 years, he would have thought that he would have gotten, a chance. But he said basically he feels like Graham Potter didn't want anyone with any influence in the change room to be there. He said he loves the club. And I think the fact that he got rid of Creswell, got rid of Soufal, Alvarez, got rid of Emerson, that kind of rings true, I think.
It's quite refreshing to hear Antonio say that, because it sort of makes sense, because we was all wondering at the time when all these players were leaving the club, and Graham Potter seems like that sort of man. He's the sort of man that he doesn't want people around him that
control freak.
To go to him and say, look, we don't agree with this. Where I think every dressing room should have that. We've seen it down the years where we've had players lock managers out of the dressing room because they don't, and to do team talk. So, I don't like the way the career ended for Antonio. I think, he deserved a lot better. He didn't need to retire from football with that, for what he done for us over the years. Graham Potter could have given him a chance when we played Ipswich away last game of the season. He could have brought him on and let him say goodbye to the fans, but he didn't give him that chance.
Yeah, did he retire? Because I thought he signed for someone else.
No. Sorry, I didn't mean retire, but the way he left the club. He is basically retired, because I don't even think he's played for this new club, has he?
He's only got a 6-game contract, and I think that's him. I'll be honest with you. I think the injury done him.
Look, he needs to. He don't want to do himself any more damage. He's still young. He's got kids. He's got a family. There's no point fucking going out and breaking your leg again. One silly tackle. He's earned enough money through football. He's got a personality that he can go very far in the media if he sticks to it. So just do that.
Yeah, the thing is, whether we think that whether Antonio should have been given a chance or what he's saying, I completely agree with it. He did seem to shift, and I think that's done so much. I think, honestly, Graham Potter, for me, will go down as one of the worst, probably next to Avram Grant, as the worst managerial appointment for me. He's done so much damage, so much stuff we're trying to catch up now, that now Paco's coming and Nuno's kind of got some more players in. Now we're getting the feeling back. Now we're starting to repair some of the damage that Potter did. But it shows what a weak manager he is, that he needed all of these big voices at the club. It showed why he couldn't handle things at Chelsea, and he just needs players that just do what he says.
I think about Potter, I think he's a control freak. I think he's a weak man. I don't think he likes confrontation, and I think when you think about the managers we've had in the past and the players we've had, the amount of players he shipped out. And that was the one that done me. The comment from Alvarez was odd the way that went out, because I think Potter was pushing him out and he wanted him gone. And they obviously Kudus had left, and I think him and Kudus had fell out the year before, but I think Kudus had fell out with everyone. And when we rolled into the season, and he was on the TV, and they said to him, "Are you done at West Ham? Like, you've just seen your mate Kudus, because obviously they come together. Leave? Is that you leaving?" And he's like, "No, I want to stay at West Ham. I want to do this. I want to do that. I love the fans. I owe the fans something. I don't want to give up. I want to play for that club." He'd just been named player of the tournament. He just played in defence, which we were struggling in fucking defence at the time. He just scored the winning goal in the cup. He came back, made the bench once, and then fucked off to Fenerbahce. And that was when alarm bells started ringing with me, because look at the fucking midfield we started with, and you talked about players like that who cost us like a lot of money going out on loan, and all of them comments. There was obviously some sort of conflict there. And I think his ego's done us. He's done us, and I think he's one of the biggest reasons we're in this fucking position, to be quite honest with you. He should be sued. He should be arrested.
Well, we've just been given a new contract at Sweden, isn't he? Like, he's just been given a new
stick to bloody Sweden, you fish.
But that's Karen Brady. Karen Brady to thank for there. She was the one who really pushed for him because they're mates with, they're mates. She's mates with his wife and all of this bollocks, But it was just like Ryan said, it was refreshing to actually hear him come out and say it. And you saw when we sacked Potter, the reaction on social media of players like Soufal and all the players have gone were like, and Emerson, they were like, good, well done, brilliant. Like they were happy to see that he'd been sacked, and it just shows. Like the players that we had
I heard
he
was a very, very difficult person to get on with. That's what I heard from the rumours. I never met the man, but that's what I heard from changing rooms. He was very, very difficult, and he's very, very hard to deal with. So
yeah, and no, that rings true. It really does. What was the other thing that we was going to talk about? What was the
Bowen?
The sponsorship as well. The sponsorship. That's what I was looking for. Welcome, was it Amazing Thailand? New shirt sponsor. Let's see if I can get it up. Now, I see the positives in this. I see some positives in this. Apparently, they're going to be looking at a club-wide sponsorship, shirt sponsorship, potentially sponsorship around the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I think it's an upgrade on Boyle's Sports for a start. It's not Carlsberg or Sega.
Mate, whatever. Just get whoever's got the fucking money, get the most money.
That's but I also think there's an opportunity there to grow our fan base in Thailand. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's a big link.
Oh, brilliant. I'm sure all the Thai people would love it when we're down in the fucking League One.
Well, we got loads of fans abroad in here that were.
We're a big club, mate. People don't give us, but yeah, I understand why they do it. At the end of the day, it's commercial business, and instead of fucking fleecing us for every fucking penny, well, some of these things should be subsidising the likes of us who go to the fucking games, because it's fucking expensive to go there and buy these things. But I understand in terms of the deal. We're going to be in fucking Thailand every year, so I'm going to have a nice holiday some point, going to pre-season. But so it is what it is. Like it means nothing. It could say fucking the Beano on the front of your shirt. It's about who fucking pays the most money.
Yeah, it is. But of course, like, fans are always going to be interested in it, because fans are interested in the kits, and the sponsor feeds into that. If it's Ryan's got Betway on, you've got Spobet on, I've got fucking Susan Bowl Sports on, like, and we all see it and we go like, well, how's that going to affect the shirt? Because we're fans and we love the club and love everything about it.
Yeah, sometimes it is a. It's. I mean, look at the fucking big green thing you got on your sleeve.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can I just say though that other betting companies are available? We ain't just
Midnight
advertise.
Talk is available, that's for sure.
Yeah, do you know what? It's refreshing to not have a betting company, and have something different. I'm going to get it up for people. So if anyone hasn't seen, this is a mock-up
now, but they're gone from next season. But I've heard something, they can be on sleeves.
Ah, so we could have
point?
Bowl Sport on the sleeve. I would rather Bowl Sport on the sleeve than QuickBooks. So there it is. There's the mock-up. Amazing Thailand.
Was that really?
I don't know what yours looks like, Nick, but bloody hell. I think it's a banana.
Yeah, but it's a sign.
Oh, no, I don't know. It's a tick or something. It's their curve. Shout out to Jace there, telling them to buy West Ham as well. I think he's really optimistic in how much money they've got. But do you know what? That don't look too bad at all, really. As Rob says, it's a horrible, but I think it's better than this. I mean, the text is okay. That's just the name.
Listen, but listen, that is a mock-up. Let's see what it looks like. Because if it's bright green, I'll agree with him. Like the shit on the sleeve.
Yeah.
Like you got to think like a lot of these sponsors, they have control about what they, have on the shirts and the size of it and the color of it and all that. Like, and there's one company right now that are sort of blending them into their shirts. So it's Midnight. They blend them into the shirt. So they do it with the colors that are in the shirts. It's part of Midnight's strategy. It's like, it's for the fans.
Unlike QuickBooks.
Yeah. So it depends. Look, that is a mock-up. It ain't even going to be on an Umbro shirt and it ain't going to be on that shirt. So let's see what it's like next year, and then we'll judge it. I mean, it might not look nothing like that. That's just their logo now.
We had a comment that said, this is it, Brian. I'm more excited about new badge. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. New sponsor, new kit maker. It's going to be interesting, like, to see. It will just, I guess, all going to be about as well what's on the other sleeve, right? What's going to be on the other sleeve? It's going to be a Premier League badge or a Championship badge.
Yeah, that's right.
On that sleeve.
I just see some Liverpool fan apologise to us. Where is it?
Here it is. Yeah, shout out to Hannah.
Hannah says, as a Liverpool fan, I apologise for being so awful against Spurs. So you fucking should.
I don't know if I can accept your apology, Hannah. It was truly horrific.
So you fucking should be apologetic after you beat us 5-2, playing like a load of wankers. Playing like that against them is fucking unforgivable. Get out my chat.
No, shout out for the comment, Hannah. But Slot should be the one here apologising for not starting TK and Salah.
Let's quickly talk about the England squad.
This is I take it you started this.
Yeah.
You're such a stupid insult that you're a sausage. Graham Potter didn't get enough time.
I'll guarantee that's a Tottenham fan. Guarantee it.
Yeah, 100% Spurs fan.
Let's keep Igor, Rob.
Igor in.
So Jared Bowen makes the England squad. Obviously, he comes in the England squad. I've got a feeling. I know you said this, Ryan. I reckon that's most of the World Cup squad now.
Yeah, a 35-man squad, and what is it, a 25-man squad or a 26-man squad to go to the World Cup? So there will be players missing out. Look, Jared Bowen deserves it. He's the highest scoring. His stats this season is a high.
Did you just remove Ryan? Did you just?
It's a mouse mistake, mate. I'm trying to move myself because I've got to answer the talk.
He removed you, Ryan. I wouldn't have that. We know. Sorry. The fuck?
Yeah, no, I was just saying. So like Bowen this season, I know like we're obviously in a relegation battle, but when you look at his personal stats from this season, he deserves to be in there. And look, rightly so. I think Tuchel likes him. I think Tuchel knows what he brings to the team. If he needs to chuck him on, he's not going to be a starter in the World Cup. But saying that, look, we all know that they like Saka. They love Saka, don't they? And Saka, look, he's a good player. But if you're going to go down to stats, Bowen should be maybe started. But I don't think he will. But it's nice to see him involved. It'll be a huge for him to go to a World Cup, because when he retires and he looks back at his career, he can say, do you know what? I represented my country in a World Cup. So that's massive for Bowen. And yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, do you know what? And I have to say, fair play to Tuchel on that, because I think a lot of England managers wouldn't have picked him just for the sheer fact of, oh, look, West Ham in a relegation battle. He hasn't been scoring week in, week out to force his hand. They'd be waiting to not include a player from West Ham. So the fact that he stuck to his guns there on that one, fair play to him. Listen, I'm happy. I didn't think the way we were going, I didn't think Bowen would be getting caught. And like you said, if this is going to be the squad and he does make it to the World Cup, I'm very pleasantly surprised, because, I want the best for our players, and I want them to represent their countries at the highest level. It's a big honour for them. So yeah, I'm really happy to see him in there.
Overall, career deserves it. Struggled this season, right? And I'm starting to wonder, what's happening here? Why am I walking around like celebrity squares? Yeah, so overall, I think he deserves it. Struggled this season, and I was worried for him. I said a couple of months ago, I don't think he'll go to the World Cup. He's put faith in him. I hope that sort of gets him going again, because I think that it might have been one of the reasons why he's been struggling, that he thought his England place was under threat. It's a World Cup year, bit of pressure, thinks he's got to fucking pull up trees every time and he's playing bad light. I think he's overthinking it. Let's hope that England squad inclusion is now saying to him sort of like, okay, look, you're in my plan still. Now go and finish the season with a flourish. So
yeah, that might really spur him on.
Yeah, I hope that it could be, the boost that Bowen needs this season. But I will say this, right? And I'm going to say this. And I see there was a debate online, and obviously it's Arsenal, but I'm going to put my 2 cents, right? I think that Max Dowman should be in England squad.
I don't think that would be the best idea.
You think he should be in England squad?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think he's one of them players. The way he plays, he reminds me a bit like Rooney. He's got no fear.
He's nothing. He's nothing compared to Rooney. Not Rooney at 16 years old and Dowman is not. You can't compare him.
I think he should be in England squad. I think he would be that sort of player. I think he would go out with no fear. The way he plays with no fear. He's confident, and it's like
I'm not saying that
in his attitude. Not obviously not in his build. Obviously, fucking Rooney was a monster, but I'm talking about attitude, no fear. Could be like an Owen. Could be like a Rooney.
Just another case. This is just another case of hyping up a youngster because he scored a goal. As someone said there,
but I think it's
Dowman
the way he plays. It's the way
he hasn't played that much.
No, but every time I've seen him play, mate, he's been absolutely fucking phenomenal.
How many times have you seen him play?
5, 6.
And that's enough to get into a World Cup squad.
I think it's a chance. I think you're picking people like Henderson, who should be around the squad.
Don't you remember the mistake that Sven-Göran Eriksson made when he took Theo Walcott and he didn't even play?
He never played.
They called him the next Pele. Remember, he was the next Pele. I think if you think he's good enough, I don't think it's that the best for the kid himself. I think it's too much too soon.
It could be right. I think it could be a good thing. I think he's going to be one of them ones.
He's got the potential to be. I agree, but not in this World Cup squad. He scored his first goal last weekend, and now all of a sudden he's on the plane to the World Cup. I don't get it. Like Rooney. When Rooney went to Euro 2004, look what he done, previous to it, and look what he done at Euro 2000, where he started and he didn't play against nobodies. He tore France apart in a game.
I remember. Yeah,
I'm talking like top class. I'm not saying Dowman ain't gonna be a great player, and I'm not saying that he hasn't got the potential to go on and do what Rooney done, but I just think it's another.
I know what you're saying, and I know it's crazy because I remember having a go at Lingard. Lingard got picked for England very young, and I remember having a go at him there. But it just reminds me of just one of them players that could take the world by storm, like Owen. And I know they played a lot more football than him and all that, but the kid's got fucking talent. Right, I've seen him play 5 or 6 times, and every time I've seen him play, he's been phenomenal. And
we got Euros
I
in
don't like
2
to
years.
gas up Arsenal fans because they don't, every player they've got is the fucking best in the fucking world. But that is a special kid. And I think he could be one of them ones where he could hit the world. He could take the world by storm. No fear. Listen, he could fucking do a Walcott. He could go there and do nothing. But I think you should give him. When you've got people like Henderson has got no fucking future in this England squad. I don't know why he keeps on getting picked. I think like taking a kid like that to the World Cup could give him the confidence that to go on. And people say I lost the plot. Listen, it is what it is. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? But I take a gamble. See you later, Dan.
Yeah, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just think it's another one where like the media and that are just hyping it up because he scored that goal last weekend. And look, I'm not saying that he's not going to go on to be a great player because he has got all the potentials, but I don't think he should be anywhere near the World Cup squad. To put that sort of pressure on a 16-year-old, and I know that Owen done it when he was 17 or 18, whatever he was. Rooney was a different breed at 16 to what Rooney come for a different period where Rooney was playing in reserve games against seasoned professionals, and he learnt his trade and he got in Everton's first team. Max Dowman, he's only played, as you said, 5 or 6 games. He scored his first goal last weekend. Okay, he had a brilliant game. He come on, set up a goal. But for him to take someone's place in a World Cup squad,
I'll tell you what, I'd have him over Phil Foden because Phil Foden's been fucking awful.
The thing is with Phil Foden started the season well and he's just fallen off. A lot of players have. Jude Bellingham, fucking hell. Everyone was parading Jude Bellingham around like he was the best thing that's ever put on a pair of football boots. He's been off the ball this season, but put him in an England shirt and they're different. Harry Maguire, people slate him that he's back in the England squad. I think it's good that he goes because he's been there, he's done it, he's been in the tournaments, and you can rely on a Harry Maguire when you got to defend in the last 10 minutes or something. So, look, Tuchel knows what he's doing. I think if Tuchel was going to call him up, he would have called Dowman up. He's not in the squad, which, unless there's a lot of injuries, I can't see him getting in this World Cup squad.
Do you know what? This makes me fucking laugh because Arsenal fans have said it there. Do you know what some geezer said the other day, right? I'm going to put this up. Mr. Joe the Hammer. I know Joe's a regular. I don't want to embarrass you, Joe. Phil Foden has won about 4 or 5 leagues. Yeah? So Scott Carson.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, but Phil, that's different because Phil Foden actually contributed to them.
I don't agree with this all that, right? Because somebody said the other day, right?
He scored some big goals, mate. In them.
He's a good player, but he's not playing well in a minute. It's about now, right? And so, what about how many leagues he's won? Scott Carson's won 4 or 5 leagues. Should he play for England? Because an Arsenal fan said this the other day. Gabriel Jesus wins the league. He will become one of the top 5 strikers in the Premier League of all time. His reasons? Because he's won 5 Premier Leagues and 2 World Cups. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, all right. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's players out there that won leagues that don't deserve to win leagues. There's players out there that haven't won leagues. Look at Alan Shearer. He won 1 Premier League. 1.
Yeah, but that was his choice. Because he decided
that's his choice. But it doesn't matter. Just because you've won Premier Leagues, yeah, you've been part of a good team. That don't mean you're the best in the fucking world. It depends about how you're fucking individually playing. Gabriel Jesus is nowhere near the top 50 strikers in the Premier League's ever seen.
No. But I think he don't just obviously he's not just picking players based on form right now. Because if he did, look, Bowen has picked up, but Bowen hasn't been scoring like he was, right? Which is the big reason he got into that England team because he's goal scoring form, right? But Tuchel knows his quality and knows he does know where the back of the net is. So even though he isn't really banging him in right now, he still picks him. He picks players he knows what they can do and what their attributes are. So it's not just their form right now, so that's why a Foden might.
I understand. You have to put trust. Aaron Maguire's a case in point, and I've always said Harry Maguire should be playing for England because Aaron Maguire, Pickford's the same. Pickford in an England shirt, and Pickford in an Everton shirt, Maguire in a Man United shirt, and Maguire in a fucking England shirt. They're different. It's different, right? And I do, I think you can't be dropping everyone just because their form's bad because they, especially if they're captains or leaders or whatever, but. Foden's barely got football this year.
Yeah,
he's struggled for football, not just struggled for form.
Yeah, no, I think you can make a case over maybe like someone else over Phil Foden for sure, maybe. But yeah, I just think Dowman. I think it's that, like I said, it's that as soon as a youngster, and we do it every
No,
club in England.
I understand. And listen,
It's an
English
English
well,
thing, isn't it?
we could argue the case for Cole Palmer. He's been poor this season, but
again,
you know he can win you a game.
Yeah.
You know he can come on and create something. You know, you look at he's called up Solanke. I mean, I don't know why. Ollie Watkins ain't even in the squad. Ollie Watkins ain't been in great form for Aston Villa lately, but look what he done in the last Euros when he scored the winner in the semi-final. You know, sometimes you've got to look at the players like Kobe Mainoo's back in England squad. Does he deserve it? Yes, he does, because he's been playing well consistently for a long time now. Since a long time, since Carrick's been in charge. Look, Jordan Henderson's in the squad. He probably won't make the World Cup squad, but he's probably brought him in just to, I don't know, maybe speak to a few of the new players.
Every squad, why? Every squad. Even since he was playing at that fucking Saudi club.
But
it wouldn't surprise me to see him at the World Cup.
It's a 26-man squad, but you can only start 11. So there's going to be a lot of players that miss out. So maybe sometimes they take these players just to have them around the camp.
Yeah.
But Saka's another one. You look at his stats this season; they're not great, but he's getting a lot of plaudits and praise because of how Arsenal are doing. But his stats ain't great. But you can't leave Saka out. You know, we just need to look. We've got one at the moment, probably one of the best strikers in the world in form, and Harry Kane. So you build your squad around him, and there's a lot of players in there that what's his name? Rodgers is another player. You know, he's a potential start. Marcus Rashford's back in the squad. He's been doing well. So there's a lot of players that are out of form, but put them in a squad and in the England shirt. Maybe Phil Foden playing less football could benefit England because he's more fresher. Yeah. So,
Anderson's going to start, you think?
Anderson can start. Look, since
Tuchel's been in charge, I
wasn't a fan of the Tuchel appointment, but he's sort of winning me over a little bit because I like the way he approaches things, and I've liked watching England under him, you know. But I wasn't a fan when he's appointed. But look, if he wins us the World Cup, you know, then so be it. You know, he's the one that's going to pick the starting 11. And he's got big decisions to make. There's going to be people in that squad that have been picked today that are going to be heartbroken in a few weeks' time when they're not named in that squad. So
Ollie Watkins looks like he's going to miss out, doesn't he? If he isn't in this squad, this looks like the final 35.
Kane's a big. Did you see the goal Kane scored the other day?
Yeah. Listen, Kane is one of the most underrated players in a long time. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. You know, people just, I think people look at him because he played for Tottenham and they don't like him. But when you look at him as a goal scorer and what he's done, he does what he's paid to do, score goals. And that's what he does. Look, his record out in Germany. You know, I hope that he comes back to the Premier League because I think he could smash Shearer's record. You know,
the problem we see with Kane is how he's used. Sometimes he ends up playing so deep that he's not in a position to score goals. He's trying to be the playmaker. So I think it's
I think that was at a time when England didn't really offer anything, and he felt he had to drop back and get the ball. You know, but now when you've got players like Bellingham, Rodgers, who's been brilliant under Tuchel, you know, there's players that can create. So look,
keep him up front where he belongs. Don't put him on corners. Don't put him in the fucking midfield. Put him up front.
I'll tell you, look, these are some of the players that missed out, right? Alexander-Arnold, which I was very surprised with. Ollie Watkins.
Has he been playing this season, though? I haven't heard anything really about him.
I think he's been on and off, but, you know, he's one of them ones, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd expect him to be in there. Luke Shaw, Morgan Gibbs-White, Harvey Barnes, Jared Braithwaite, Conor Gallagher, Danny Welbeck, even Tony. I mean, I don't know why Danny Welbeck's been fucking included in there.
Mate, he is underrated.
I agree. But when's the last time he's in an England squad?
Yeah, but the thing is, with Danny Welbeck, he's been in form this season. Calvert-Lewin's in England squad. Who would have said? I mean, Calvert-Lewin weren't good enough for West Ham. You know, And yet he's gone on, smashed it for Leeds, and now he's back in the England squad, and he could be flying out to the
Calvert
States.
Lewin or even Tony Rowe, what did you take him?
Me personally, I'd have taken Ivan Toney because, like Calvert Lewin, is because of his injury record and Ivan Toney is a good goal scorer. But look, Calvert Lewin's proved it this season that if he stays fit, he scores goals.
Yeah. Did he get in? The Villa geezer, midfielder.
Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers. Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, he says he joins late. There's a couple of them that join in late. Anthony Gordon's in.
Yeah, he's a talented player, but I don't know why he's gone off the ball at Newcastle.
He's been shit.
Yeah. He's gone off the ball. He started really well for Newcastle. They got a battering the other day. So
Madueke, I think Madueke is a bit underrated. I think he's good. Madueke, I like him.
Did Kilman get called up?
No. I know. Late.
Are you getting bullied? Are you getting bullied by Arsenal fans somewhere?
No, I like
Madueke's fucking a good player.
No, I like Madueke. I like him.
Oh.
He's Don Robbie's fucking been on the phone.
Are you back on Robbie's payroll?
Bowen, yes. Eze, yes. Foden, no. No Gordon. Madueke, yes. Cole Palmer, no. Even Saka, I'd say no.
No, you can't. You have to take Saka. You have to take
Rashford, yes. Solanke. There's only 2 strikers, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Solanke. I'd be interested to see how Solanke does outside the Spurs mess. But
Walton,
he hasn't.
Yes. Tomori, yes. Tomori? I don't know about him. Spence, Quansah, Nico O'Reilly, another fucking Irish geezer. Dan Burn, Mark Gay, Lewis Hall, Quansah, Tino Livramento. I agree with it, to be honest. I would have taken Tony over Calvert-Lewin.
Ivan Toney made that decision, mate, to go and play out in Saudi. Whether he scores 110 goals in 2 games out there, like fucking, he's not in the spotlight over there. And let's be honest, us 3 could go out there and probably fucking score 10 goals as a fucking game.
Yeah,
you know.
Listen, no, that's it. And you've got Calvert-Lewin, who has been battling every week in a difficult league down where he is slogging it out. And I think obviously the formation change, I think, worked wonders for him. And yeah, he's scoring goals.
Trafford above Pickford. Not England Pickford. Not England Pickford at all.
Yeah, that is the thing, right? Whatever happens with Pickford and Everton, he's always just so reliable for the most part. He always performs for England, Pickford. And that's why, like, it don't matter, they had all these players, say when, what's his name, was Arsenal player, goalkeeper, what's his fucking name, that twat. When he was in goal for Arsenal, when everyone was going, he's got to be number 1, Pickford still kept his place.
Yeah.
Oh, Ramsdale.
Ramsdale, that's it.
Yeah,
Ramsdale.
Clown geezer. I've never seen a worse fucking goalkeeper in all my life.
Hermansen at the start of the season, not Hermansen now, but Hermansen at the start of the season. Roberto.
All right, Roberto.
Yeah, come on. There's no one.
No, he's bad. Mate. I'll tell you, the one that he done Bowen, and he done me because he's just a hype up merchant. And again, he was another one of them fucking people that Arsenal fans would turn around. The best in the world. He should be England number 1. Can't even concentrate for 90 minutes. One of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen. Most mistakes I've ever seen. Worst mistakes I've ever seen. Couldn't concentrate for 90 minutes. Was running around like a fucking headless chicken trying to hurt everyone and then fucking getting up and start geeing up the crowd. Just wind-up merchant. He went to a playoff final dressed as Hagrid for no fucking reason. Geezer's a clown.
He's even.
I don't think
he hasn't been starting for Newcastle, is he?
Because he's shit.
I think he has started the last few games.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I don't think he's doing too well, is he, in their goals? What's his fucking name? Their goalkeeper, Pope. I don't think they rate him too much.
Yeah, but I think he's been on. So yeah, like I said, I just think Pickford, should definitely keep his spot until he lets England down and has a bad game or something. And you go, maybe someone else comes in. He's just consistent, I think, for England. So keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Wrap up?
Yeah.
Go on then, wrap up.
All right, then. Oh, you stuck me in the middle. Yeah, by the way, thank you to OK Jerseys before we wrap up for sponsoring the video. You can go and get your classic retro shirts. I know we've got Liverpool fan in the chat, Liverpool, West Ham, fucking Leeds, even Spurs. All your club shirts, your internationals. We're talking about England shirts. Go get them. Retro, some beautiful retro shirts on there. So yeah, go get them 15 quid a shirt. Code Nicky for 10% off. So you get it even cheaper at checkout. So scan the QR code or visit the website here, okjersey.com. So yes, this weekend, obviously it's a huge weekend. Watch along. It's the match reaction. Nicky will be there with the fan cams, all of that good stuff. And go and watch the other lads on Extra Time. Go check out George, Big Dave,
You know what?
and
As
Tony.
well, I'm gonna plug this as well. They've got a couple of things to plug, but I'm going to plug this one as well. Go and watch the Academy of Football podcast because our boy Ryan Archer was on that, and I watched that the other day. It was a very, very fucking good podcast, that, and I enjoyed it. And I've known this geezer for 30 years. Go and watch that.
Yeah,
good.
Check that out. 100%. Yeah, honestly, it's going to be a busy week for us next week. We got the Clyde Best night where you get your tickets, clydebest.com. I haven't got it on top, but just Clyde Best story. So we got that on the Wednesday, and then we got Trevor Brooking on the Thursday, and then coming up after that, there's Colton Cole night as well. So we got to put just a ton of links down.
That's at the Harrow
Trevor
Pub.
Brooking night's sold out.
Harrow Pub, 30th of April, Hornchurch. Me and Ryan, we're hosting Colton Cole at the pub. Tickets are on sale now. There's a link in the description. If you can put a link in the description down, go and buy your tickets right now because we are going to be. There's a little poster as well. We'll put that up next week. But yeah, the Harrow Pub, Colton Cole. Me and Ryan are hosting that. So yeah, go and get your tickets right now. I think they're only 20 quid.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, 100%. So yeah, go get that. And like I said, go check out, come to the Clyde Best. We'll be at the premiere on Wednesday with Clyde Best, so you can come to that one. Harry Redknapp. I think Jermaine Defoe's going to be there by himself and ask him himself.
So if you aren't coming to the Trevor Brooking night has been sold out for so long. But the only way you can see it now, the only way is if you become a member, because the video will be coming up for members and you'll be able to watch that a couple of days later. I think there'll be parts of it coming up on YouTube, but the full thing will be available to members. So if you want to become a member, go and become a member right now. Trevor Brooking. We're going to have one of them shirts signed and we're going to give that away to the members as well. So go and get the membership right now because that will be on a membership. Trevor Brooking interview. You don't want to miss that one. Living legend. There we go.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you all very much for watching.
Fridge freezer for sale, £450. No, while we're plugging things.
Yeah, it's plugging away. Thank you all for watching. Go and enjoy the rest of the Man United Bournemouth game. I think Man United winning 2-1. But someone said we missed the boat on Carrick, maybe. So go watch that, and then we'll be obviously check the Leeds game tomorrow, all the football. And enjoy your weekend, everyone. So thank you all so much for watching. Your super chats, your regular chats, all of that stuff.
Nobody panic, right?
Don't panic, Captain Mannering. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.